Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Ken Bond. This is a very special Driving Me Wild. The last video I posted some Ken Bond inventions as they relate to my cars, and it turned out to be a really popular video. People kind of have reached out to me on social media about some of my inventions and whether I want to market them. So I thought I should share probably my greatest invention of all. We're actually going to kind of go back in time to 2020 to an early video I shot in 2020. But basically the invention for right now, it's called the Magic Stock Board, and it's behind me on the wall. It's like a series of flashcards that form a flow chart or a roadmap or a monopoly board on how to trade the stock market. It started in 2020, and I'm rolling it out now. There's already a few people using these. It's happening. It's exciting. So what started off as a few flashcards on my desk quickly grew, and once I started putting them on my walls, I decided to just let it go and see how far it can take me. But in order to introduce the situation, we're going to talk about these two flashcards right here and the guy who was the inspiration, one of the masters of the stock market, Mr. Warren Buffett.
Ted Williams wrote a book called The Science of Hitting, and in it he had a picture of himself at bat and the strike zone broken into, I think, 77 squares. And he said if he waited for the pitch that was really in a sweet spot, he would bat 400, and if he had to swing at something on the lower corner, he would probably bat 235. And in investing, I'm in a no-called strike business, which is the best business you can be in. I can look at 1,000 different companies, and I don't have to be right on every one of them or even 50 of them. So I can pick the ball I want to hit. And the trick in investing is just to sit there and watch pitch after pitch go by and wait for the one right in your sweet spot. And if people are yelling, swing you bum, ignore them. There's a temptation for people to act far too frequently in stocks simply because they're so liquid. Over the years, you develop a lot of filters. And I do know what I call my circle of competence. So I stay within that circle, and I don't worry about things that are outside that circle. Defining what your game is, where you're going to have an edge, is enormously important.
Like Warren Buffett said, anytime you can learn something that gives you an edge, that's a good thing. So what I did is every time I learned something, I made a flashcard, and I used support and resistance. So now I have flashcards that actually show, like the dashboard on your car, support and resistance. And whatever you need to focus on, you can tape right in front of your computer, and that way you never mess up. We're going to come down here to my little journal. I promised to give you a good lesson in charting at the end of the video, but some formations that you should learn to recognize. Pause the video later on, but we have a pennant pattern, we have a descending triangle, we have an ascending triangle, we have bull and bear flags, we have a declining wedge. That's important to watch because that's when it pops, and then we have an inclining wedge, and that's important to watch because usually that's when it drops. So learning these formations is key. This functions like the periodic table of the stock market. You know, if you're dealing with chemicals, you don't want to memorize the periodic table. You just want to have it handy. One of the most effective methods is first chance. Enter first chance you get, exit first chance you get. That way you're going to realize profits and not mess up. It's not the most glamorous flashcard, but it's highly effective in just realizing profits. So you can see here, I like to trade Tesla. So all the support and resistance levels. My last trade was Tesla. I clipped my last set of shares at about 258. The target was 254. That was last year. This might seem like an overkill to most people, but when you're trading $5,000 or $10,000 worth of stock, you might not need to go this far. However, when you're trading $50,000 to $100,000 worth of stock, all this stuff gets really important. And to the technical traders or to the advanced traders, you'll appreciate this. Look at this flashcard. Something I learned: market makers don't cancel market orders 6:25 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. every day on the NASDAQ exchange. So here it's just reminding me to use a limit order. What does that mean? If you click the buy button at 6:26 a.m. to buy Tesla, for instance, and then you're like, I'm going to cancel it. Nope, you can't cancel it. And if you keep hitting the button, all those orders stack up, and then at 6:30 a.m. they all get executed. So just like the dashboard on your car or your navigation screen or a road map, this is designed to, get you to your destination without any pitfalls or mistakes. But I'm going to show you one of my very early trades with NIO stock. All the stocks that I trade happen to deal with cars. NIO, Tesla, LUCID, another company which I'm going to talk about in another video, Piedmont Lithium. It's important that I should mention that I don't recommend any of these. This is just for learning purposes. And pay close attention, because if you look at NIO stock today, it's actually on these monitors behind me. The stock settled at about $6. So we're going to travel back to 2020 when the stock was, I'm trading it between $36 and $38, and I'm trading 500 shares. So in the example, we make $1,000 with 500 shares going from 36 to 38. Okay, let's go back in time to 2020. We're looking at the financial stuff today. This is NIO stock. I just traded it. It had a nice slide down and it popped up, and I traded 500 shares. I bought and sold 500. And if I go over here to settings, and this is, I'll just go over here and show you, this is Thinkorswim. It's connected real time. This is covering my name and account number for security. But if you see the time state here, will match my Mac. Anyways, here we go. You hit this button and you say show trades, and then you hit OK. And now it puts in these little bubbles. So you can see the market slid down, and I picked it up at 36.45, 500 shares. The market went up and I sold it at 38.45. This trade took about 2 hours and 25 minutes, and it cost about $18,000 to buy those 500 shares. However, my account did not have that much money in it. I used margin. I think my account today was beginning at about 14,000. So now it's at about 15,000 after this trade, which is great. That's how to do it. NIO stock. Which is better, NIO or Tesla? Which car is better, NIO or Tesla? I don't know. It doesn't matter. And the way to make money in the stock market is, the easiest way is leverage. You buy 500 to 1,000 shares. And for every dollar that the market goes up, you make either $500 or $1,000. And that's how to do it. This trade ladder. And the way this works is, the market is closed, so we don't see a lot of action, but every single one of these is a buy button. So if I hit this buy button, I hope I don't hurt anything here. There you go. My order just went to the floor. I'm trying to pick this up here. Let me cancel that. And this is good till canceled. I'm going to make this a day order. So this black section here is the day session, and then this is the extended session. So I actually sold after the market closed in the extended session by moving this day to GTC. So if I keep it at day, no matter what I click on, here we go, we see some action. So see, the market's moving. If whatever I do, I can just hit this button and boom, my order goes right there. And if I just highlight this order, it'll say buying 500 NIO at 38.19, limit order to open. Okay, there we go. I'm going to hit cancel all, and that's this is called the active tracker, or the trade ladder, because it looks like a ladder. So these are all buy buttons and these are all sell buttons. So when the market's trading, and we'll have some footage later on about that, you'll see this going up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's almost like a really crappy video game. You can just watch it dip down and then just hit a button down here. And then you'll see it go clunk, get your order, and then hopefully go back up. That's a typical buy trade. And then I'm gonna cancel that. And if I wanted to sell when the market's going up and up and up and up and up and up and up, sometimes I see some nice profits here. So I'll just click that. And none of these orders will actually work right now because we have made it a day order. And this is the extended session, this gray area. The market is actually still trading. It is at 38.35. And I sold these at 38.45. And this is a particularly nice slide down and then a nice ride up. And I was able to kind of get there right on that dip. I call that a dip low, like the artist Diplo, and sell on a spike. And now, you know, here we go. And I made $1,000 on this trade, 2 hours, 25 minutes, and we'll see the other notes that I put into it. Other things here, just look at all these markets I have. So I'll start at the top. Okay, this is crude oil. Crude oil is actually going up. It went all the way down to $37 this week. It's back up. This is the NASDAQ Futures Index. It's a futures index based on the NASDAQ, which pretty much trades 24/7. So when the NASDAQ is closed, you look at the futures index, and that gives you a good idea. Here's the E-mini S&P futures index. Again, the regular S&P is closed. Here's NIO. These are some of the other stocks I'm looking at. This is Dragon something, LYL. Here's the real NASDAQ. So you can see the NASDAQ is closed. What is it doing? You can look at the futures. It's a pretty good representation because the futures index is based on the market. Here's the S&P. The S&P came up. We're seeing signs of weakness there. Here's Etsy. I did a lot of Etsy trades. Etsy's a funny little stock that seems to come back. Here's Tesla. I traded that extensively. Here's a new one. You can check that out. That might be something. NIO's a better value. Here's another market. Pinterest, I think. I can't really see this. But here we have, you can set the software for, this is the top 10 gainers of the NASDAQ. And then here's the top 10 gainers of the NICE. No, this is NICE, this is NASDAQ. But anyways, and here's the news. So any news on NIO comes right here. And I can select any market. So if I want to see news on Tupperware, here's all the Tupperware news. And I hit this, and then this thing comes up, and the whole article is here. This one is a super short article. I never have to open Firefox or Safari or any kind of browser to get stuff from the internet because it's all right here. So I really love Thinkorswim. This is for someone who looks at charts and patterns, and you can even draw charts and patterns here. So if I said, okay, what's a good pattern? Let's see what the market's doing. So I'm going to zoom in on this, and then I'm going to adjust these so we can kind of actually see what the market's doing. Let's bring this down. This looks like a classic pennant, so I can draw that on there. I've gotten pretty good at drawing these things. And there's my pennant, and we know that selling and buying pressure is going to make the market congest, and it should break out of the pennant. I think NIO will break up. It could break down, and we can just go up here to drawings, remove drawings, clear all drawings. Yes. This is a 1 minute chart. We can go to 5 minute. You might see some of my other trades on here. So this is the day session in black. The gray session is in, that's the extended night session. So you can see this is the day session, and then it goes into the extended night, and then pre-market, and then back to the day session. So there's a lot of action going on when the market is supposedly closed. And if we go to, we'll go to 30 minute. You can see I've been trading NIO extensively, and the software is collapsing the trades. There's actually, if we zoom in on these, some of these will be more. NIO is a market where I don't think I've taken a loss yet, which is a nice situation. It's a 30-minute chart, and then we can go to 4-hour. Again, you can see that there's multiple trades. So I was looking at the footage and I realized I never showed the profits. What fun is that? So, you know, a little bit more of a tutorial of Thinkorswim. It's highly configurable. So I'm going to go in here and find the day's profit and losses and just pop it on. And okay, I think it's in this thing actually. Yeah, customize. Okay. Profit loss, daily profit loss. And we're going to just find that and add it. There we go. $1,000, nice and tidy, 500 shares by 500 shares in about 2 hours and 25 minutes. I'm a highly disciplined trader, so I'm going to actually go back and hide that because I tend to get cocky if I can see my daily profits and losses. Sometimes I can get cocky. That footage that we were looking at was from, you know, actually it's 2024 now. So that was 2020. That's 4 years ago. Just to give you an idea how this keeps going. Well, I think on November 10th or November 11th, I did another NIO trade. And this time I actually documented it a little bit better as the profits kind of ramp up. So we're going to take a look at a couple clips. You know, this will give you an idea of what it's like when you're actually sitting there just watching your computer rack up profits. Good morning, everyone. It is November 10th, 8:16 in the morning, and it is a very good morning, Tuesday, November 10th, and we are once again trading NIO stock. We got a fill over here at 40.16, which is not the greatest fill. We saw prices as low as 38 something, but profits are about $350. We've seen profits as high as 500 on this trade, so I think it's going to be a good one. And we're just letting that marinate, cook up. Looks pretty good. Profits dropping and rising. It's part of the business. 15 minutes later, it's about 8:30 in the morning, Tuesday, November 10th. We are still holding our NIO position. Profits have just about doubled. So here's the conclusion of that trade. $1,035, but this time it took 27 hours. Okay, so we're back up in 2024. That old adage of buy and hold, that wouldn't have worked for me. In fact, it was at 36 to 38, and now it's at 6. So that's a difference of 30 points times 500 shares. That's negative $15,000. That would have sucked to have gone through. That's why I day trade. The way I trade the stock market is called day trading. A lot of people do it. What in particular, the trade that you saw was about 2 hours. Now I do trades that are usually less than 15 minutes. In fact, sometimes they're less than a minute. And I've started calling them ATM trades, where from the time it takes you to go to an ATM and come back, you're just in your office, in your home office, pushing buttons, or maybe in your real office pushing buttons, and you're getting this money, and then you're out of the position. So also some questions people have been asking: is this money yours, or do you have to leave it in your account? No, this money is, there's no money in the stock market right now because I'm out. Bought it at 36, sold it at 38, and then I'm out. So the next morning, if the stock market plummeted, I wouldn't lose any money. We get in, we get out. So if it crashes, we actually like that, because then we get back in and we ride it up and then we get out. So that's the whole point of day trading. All you really need to do is look at the chart and mark support and resistance levels. That's what this is all based on. So it's math. So if you do your math homework, you know where that ball is going to land within a few, 5 or 10 or whatever the price points you're dealing with. So day traders, we get that information. We know what it's probably going to do. We go there and we wait for opening bell, and then we bet for like in this example, 2 hours, and then we're out, we're done. We're like, I think it's over. What is the stock market? The stock market is actually a balloon at a party that somebody blew up, and everyone keeps hitting it, and it keeps going higher and higher. And if you look at it, you're like, wow, it's flying, it's floating. No, it's actually sinking, but every time it sinks really low, people get excited and they push it up. When the stock market, when it gets really low, people get excited and they start buying. That's buying pressure. What makes it go down is selling pressure. That's it. So it's best, as soon as that buying pressure is over, you get out, take your profits, and do it again. And again, I think this example speaks, it speaks loud and clear that like NIO stock, it was actually falling and people were still buying it. I started shorting it, which is making money when it goes down. So if anyone tells you the stock market doesn't work, they don't know how to do it. It's like brain surgery. If you see someone ripping open someone's brain and poking around in there, you might think, oh my God, you're going to kill them. No, they're actually saving their lives. So personally, why I like trading the stock market is, well, I like cars, and I think we all know that. And I really like Bugatti cars. In fact, my journal, here's my journal from back in the day. But I used to subscribe to Road and Track magazine, and here's the issue where the Bugatti EB110 graced the covers of Road and Track magazine. And that's when I became a Bugatti fan. This is a great picture that was in the back of another one, which is a cutaway of the EB110 Super Sport with a bunch of the Bugatti things in the back. When this car came out, they were about $350,000. And I just knew a conventional job is not going to cut it. Like I need to find another vehicle to obtain these vehicles. And I started trading futures, which is very difficult. I don't recommend doing that. But my first 2 trades, my account was up above 900%. I started with a $600 commodities account and started trading options on futures contracts. And in 3 months, my account was over $7,200. So from $600 to $7,200 in 3 months. And it was with natural gas in the wintertime. I invested in natural gas in the wintertime in options, one option, and it flew through the roof. So if you know what you're doing, you can make a lot of money doing this. And I've been doing well. A lot of my friends, they're like, I've had marketing people look at this. Everyone's saying going forward. And we have 2 tracks. The first track is I teach you how to do it. And then the second track, invented by the beta testers, is this is what they all said to me somewhere throughout the process. Can you just do it for me? Can you just tell me what to do? Can I just copy off you? As I thought about it, I thought, well, if I let people copy off me, that's a lot quicker. It's easier. I don't have to explain everything. Teaching actually takes more time, and if they copy enough, well, they'll probably learn by default. And as a side note, if you ever hear someone say, there's one stock that, if you know these five stocks can change. That's all nonsense. Nobody knows what the market's going to do, but you trade it accordingly. It's like surfing. You go there, you look, you see that wave, you jump in and you ride it. And that's exactly what I did with the NIO trade. I waited till it plummeted, then I got in and I watched it, and I could feel it. It was going up and it loses momentum. I'm looking at the profits. And then I decided that I was just going to go $2 higher, $500, 500 shares. That's an easy $1,000. You know, I showed these trades to my broker, someone on the trade desk. They said, you know, what you're doing, the way you're trading, is really safe. I thought I was being clever. I thought I was being sneaky, or, you know, just, ooh, you know, I feel like Sherlock Holmes, you know, coming up with these trades like an artist, like Da Vinci. And he's like, safe. The point is, we generated $1,000 in profit, and we're only exposed for less than 3 hours. I want to share this information because I used to commute an hour to work and an hour back. You know, I've had those periods in my life. The last time I had a real job was 2007. Okay, let's take it back to acting, because that's why I do it. I'm an artist. I don't really care about the stock market. In fact, I'll say, forget the stock market. Okay, just forget about it. Forget the stock market. Okay, I like the stock market because I don't have to get dressed. I don't have to use a phone. I don't have to send an email. I don't have to take a business meeting. I don't have to wait for someone to buy my product. I don't need a funnel. I don't need a Discord group. I don't need any chat GPT. I don't need none of that. I don't even need to call anyone. I don't need to talk to anyone. Literally everything is right at my fingertips on my computer. And if I don't want to do it, I don't have to do it. I don't even have to turn on my computer if I don't feel like doing it. But truth be told, I don't care about the stock market. I do like making money with the stock market. It's convenient, it's easy. And if you know what you're doing, it can be quite profitable. And if you have any questions, you can call me. My number should be on the screen somewhere. If it's on the screen, that means it's okay to call me. If you can't see the number, you can reach out to me other ways and get involved, ask questions, make some money. Please give this video a like. Please subscribe to the channel. You know, send this to someone who might be like looking at options. Oh, and the good news is, you know, if you're thinking about doing this software, Thinkorswim, it has 2 categories when you put in your login and password. It has real money, and then it has paper trading. When you're trading with real money, it says connected real time, and that's why I show that in my videos. If you're paper trading, it says simulated trading. I'm going to paper trade stocks for a little while, practice, and then I'm going to fund it with maybe 5 or 10,000 or however much money you want. I started with 600, and in 3 months, I had it up to over 7,000. So if anyone tells you like that won't work, they don't know how to do it. Sometimes I don't even know what it's going to do. I just sit there and watch it, and it starts to shoot up. I get in, starts to go down, I get out. The example that I showed you with NIO, I have zillions of those. In fact, this is actually a commodity trade on soybeans. I'm gonna come a little closer. Beans, $162. And then if we look here, 11 minutes, 3 minutes, 46 minutes. That's a lot of work for just $162. So this is an early one. Here's an Amazon stock trade, $300, less than a day. So these are really early trades. 6 shares. I bought 6 shares. This is when Amazon was I bought 6 shares at $32.85, and then I sold 6 shares at $33.35. Amazon used to be over $3,000. I even forgot about that. And if you're looking at these are 1 minute charts, and they only exist for 24 hours. So the reason I started taking screenshots of these is because I would some of these trades are so fast, you think like, well, what did I do? And you want to go back in time and see it. But because there's so many minutes in a day, that the 1 minute chart only lasts for 24 hours. So you can't see, you have to go to a 5 minute chart or a 10 minute chart. I'll get into charting on another thing, but I started taking screenshots. Here's crude oil, another futures. Here's one of my early Piedmont lithium trades. That's day one. I made Piedmont lithium. I only traded it for a little while, but on the first day, I made 1975. I ended up doubling. Oh wow, these are just in order. I didn't even plan that. Second day, 5,085 in one day. In fact, why did I make 5,000 the second day, and I only made 2,000 the first day? Well, I made 2,000 the first day, and then I watched it keep going up, and I was like, I could have made like $6,000. And I was like, all right, it's probably gonna do something similar tomorrow. So it was a Tuesday, I remember it, and I watched it go to 5,000, and I got out. And I should mention, this is under the 3-day trade rule. When you first start trading stocks, you only get 3-day trades a week. Sounds stupid. I thought it was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I was like, 3-day trades a week? What are you? And I have a futures background, commodities, so you have unlimited trades all the time. So I thought it was ridiculous. And then once your account goes over 25 grand, if you want, you can have unlimited day trades. And when you do that, they also give you 4 times the margin. So normally if you put like $5,000 into a stock account, they give you $10,000 worth of buying power. So you doubled the money, or you get 2 times the margin. If you flag your account to become a pattern day trader, which is, you choose it, they give you unlimited trades, and they give you 4 times the margin. So if the initial amount is 25,000, 4 times that is 100,000. Your first day as a day trader, you have usually over $100,000 worth of buying power. So now you can put your money in for a very short amount of time, and you're buying $100,000 worth of stock, or maybe you're like, I'm only going to use half. I'll buy $50,000 worth of stock. But you can generate money even faster. But these are all under 3-day trades a week. And I actually recommend that people. I think that most people, especially if you're going to make this a side hustle, just stay at the 3-day trade rule. It's actually good. This one is I eventually flagged my account so I can have unlimited trades. I thought it was too ridiculous. So here's $413 in, what is this? 25 minutes, did 4 trades. Okay, so after a little while, I stopped making these little sheets of paper. I didn't need them anymore, but I still felt inclined. In the beginning, if I had a good trade, I'd do a screenshot. I would put all the little things so I can study it later and learn. And as I got better and better, I got just kind of lazy, and but I started doing screenshots and printing them, just so I had like a routine in my day. So, but here's another one. You can see multiple trades. And I'm going to just see if we can zoom in here. So I think that's $216. I'll just tell you the amounts, but that's where I'm looking at it. 1,800 shares, $216. And it looks like the last trade was done at 7:10. So if you're on the East Coast, the market opens at 6:30 a.m. So that's about 40 minutes worth of trading. Here's another one. This says, it looks like 555555, which is kind of a neat number. 5588. And I quit trading at about Looks like 7:15 a.m. I mean, this one has a lot of trades. What is this amount? 522, 274, 544, 462. You can see that I have so many of these. These are all clumped together really nicely. 1492. Ooh, this is actually an overnight trade. I'll read some of these out. 562, 574, 198. So you can see that the market on this day, the market was clearly down. Here's where it opened, and then it fell down. And I just kind of popped up here, you know, just popped around. Here's one where the market was up. I only made $286. That wasn't a very good day, but I still profited. The point is, even I think this is just that says 250. I think that's a repeat. I printed it twice. 187. So what I want to see. This is funny. This is funny. This is actually me messing up. This is me having a bad day. You can see there's a lot of trades. 3,000 shares of Tesla. This is back when Tesla was $307. You can see the market was kind of down sideways. It didn't do anything. It says over here $6.89. So this is a bad day. But hey, who cares? Here's another, and you can see there's a trend here. Look at this. The market plummeted in the pre-market era. This is only $36.02. And you know that when I start seeing stuff like this, I just quit. Here's a day that I must have slept. I missed the boat. This is opening bell. I just missed the whole ride up, and I think I was watching it. I was so frustrated that I was like, I have to make some money. So I made $130. But it looks like I did it so quickly. I bought and sold almost on the same instant. So this is like a 5-minute trade. The point is, once you become a pattern day trader, it's like you have like a machine gun, and you can just kind of slice it and dice it. Yes, I'm a pattern day trader, but I don't recommend it, and I don't think you need to go there in order to make a lot of money in the stock market. You can configure all these charts, and you saw me scroll up and down. So people, sometimes they have 6 big screens on their trade setup, all these screens. I don't want any of that, because I want to take my laptop and my cell phone to a hotel room, to, Cabo San Lucas, to the East Coast, to my girlfriend's house. We're looking at Tesla now. This is what the market did today. And this is a candlestick chart. It's a 1-minute chart. First, I'm going to collapse the trader. Then I'm going to collapse this guy. So this is a 1-minute chart. If we just look at the day session, actually, we'll just look at the beginning. We're going to give you a quick lesson in charts. We're at a 1-minute chart. These are candlesticks. Each one of these little lines represents 1 minute. So the 1-minute chart is the chart with the most detail. I like to trade on a 1-minute chart, but sometimes you get so close to the forest you can't see the trees. So I like to flip to a 5-minute chart. Here you can easily see what it's doing. I flip back to the 1-minute chart and it reset itself. So now we can see a better perspective. The black session is the day session. The gray session is the in-between. Here's where the day started. Pre-market goes from here to here. The day session is here to here, and now we're in post-market, or extended session is what it's called. So a lot of people don't even know that the market is open for more than just bell to bell. Here's a 5-minute chart. When I tell you to mark your support and resistance levels, always use a 5-minute chart. It's the best one. And you can easily see that Tesla hit a low. Now we're seeing a nice trend up. I think I'm bullish on Tesla. However, I trade according to what the market does. So if it all of a sudden sank, I would wait, and then I would get back in and I would ride it up again. So there is no point in trying to predict what the market is going to do. Trade it accordingly. However, I think that Tesla will see a nice bull market. But here's now a 3-year chart. So we can look back 3 years on what Tesla has done. So with a high of 414 and a low of, got a low there, I think of 101. But at 175, this market may be a good value. It may be a good value. But what we can do is we can highlight, let's highlight this, just the past 3 years, and I'll populate some of my trades so you can see how many trades I do. I traded Tesla aggressively. I continue to trade it aggressively. The up and down action means you can make the same money over and over and over and over again. Obviously, if the market goes straight up, that's easier. So you can see here, here are some of my trades. Some of these numbers are quite large. 5,000 groups of 5,000 shares, 16,000 shares. Obviously, not all at once, but when I trade Tesla, it's usually 50, 100, 200, or 400 shares, and it's kind of been my market. But when I learned how to trade futures from Scott Baldwin, and he's a top trader. He used to trade the bonds market, and he would say that you should know your market. Pick one market and know your market. Now I'm kind of jumping around to Facebook and Nvidia and Netflix, but Tesla is still my baby. I find it very easy to trade because I'm so familiar with the numbers. So here we go. Here's the 1-minute chart. And you can see that these are all support and resistance levels. So the lower levels, we call those support, and the higher levels, we call that resistance. So resistance here is 190 on the top of the chart. This price point, that's another point of resistance. So when you hear people say support and resistance, this is what they're talking about. All markets bounce between support and resistance, and support and resistance is ever changing. So when it's rising, that's buying pressure. When it's going down, that's selling pressure. And that's basically how it goes. Here we're looking at a larger picture. You can see it took a beating, bounced up and down. And now with candlesticks, because they're color coded, you can see that the trend is changing. It's becoming better. And it might be getting worse. There's been early rust issues with the Cybertruck if you drive it in the rain, despite its unique architecture, and the batteries are made inside the Gigafactory, so that's a first. We'll see. The Tesla is a funny company, but the stock reflects it. It's a wild ride, so there's opportunities. Charts are the way to trade the market. Everything, all the news items, everything that affects the market is represented in the chart. So if you just watch the chart, it's hard not to get it right. I mean, imagine what you could do if I hold your hand. And I really want to help people. It's all about knowledge. It took me many years to learn all these tricks of the trade and to configure my Thinkorswim. But now I can just save my desktop and create a link and send it to you. So boom, now your Thinkorswim looks just like mine. This is about the stock market. I think the stock market is easy. There are many opportunities to double your money in the stock market if you just time it right. I thought we'd take a close look at how I doubled my money in the stock market. But Piedmont Lithium is a battery company, and they got a deal to make batteries for Tesla for 6 years. We looked at this trade in 1975 on Monday. On Tuesday, we made 5,085. That Wednesday, 2193. This time only with 300 shares of Piedmont Lithium. So 92.53 in 3 days. My account on Monday was about 10,800, and then on Wednesday it was just over $20,000. So to me, that's doubling your money in the stock market. And if anyone wants to say, well, it's not quite double, the preceding week, that Thursday, I did another Piedmont Lithium trade, and that just really put us over the top. 1,200 in profit with Piedmont Lithium. Piedmont Lithium got a battery deal to make batteries for Tesla cars. It never happened, but when that news hit the streets, the stock soared. 92.53 in 3 days with Piedmont Lithium, and you can actually see a timestamp of every single trade to execute that. My Hall of Fame is actually on the ceiling, and it starts with Virgin Galactic. This is a great trade, $616 in a mere 22 seconds with 5,000 shares. That is a lot of shares to be trading. Picked it up at 10.59, 22 seconds later, dumped all of them at 10.72. And the market actually settled that day at 10.69. Here's a screenshot from Yahoo Finance, and I pulled up March 30th so we can see 10.69 if you look closely. But if you look at today's price, $1.72 a share. So I was trading it like 10.5. Now it's at $1.72. I would have taken a beating. And now we're going to jump into lightning round with Lucid. Here's 460 in 38 seconds. 420 in 44 seconds. I've been calling these ATM trades. We have 240 in 32 seconds, 362 in 4 minutes. And here's something that's crazy is 2 trades, $280 in profits. There's a crazy technique which I call jumping sinkholes, and then the chipper up method. But here you can see how effective it is. This market is a downtrending market, and I was buying, and I was able to profit twice. I got the signal to get in, and then I got the signal to get out. And here's a snapshot of trading on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Lucid. I don't know if these are the same trades or different trades, but over $1,000 and only 7 minutes exposure. And now Lucid is at $3, so that would have been a big waste of time if I would have held those positions. Going to Tesla, here's 467 in 3 minutes, and you can see how I advanced my nomenclature to give me more details. 400 in 4 minutes, $262 in 2 minutes, and you can see I labeled an 11-minute pull. That's how long the rally lasted. 11 minutes and $35 in price points. And I only took advantage of 2 minutes and 4.7 or about $5 of a $35 move. So analyzing this, the next trade I decided to hold longer. We have 1171 in profits, and we held it for longer, 13 minutes. So you can see there is a system to trading stocks. So here's one for 3 hours and 23 minutes, 1368. Here's another one, 3 days, over $2,800. So if you want a position trade or day trade, this system really works. So wrapping up here, I just want to ask, please subscribe to this channel. Give us a like, ring the bell, and all that good stuff. And people sometimes ask me, like, Ken, how did you find out about that stock? Well, I showed you how to create a top 10 list. And if you create a top 10 list on the NASDAQ, for instance, every day the software will automatically show you the top 10 stocks on the NASDAQ or the NICE or whatever exchange you tell it to. So it's endless possibilities, endless possibilities. Remember, to imagine what is possible tomorrow, we must be willing to step beyond what is possible today. And it's going to be a great day.